Hello. So I'm going to show you how to do essentially a hands-off re-entry. I've been reading a lot of people talking about how the game's broken or otherwise they're having a very difficult time with re-entries, like their ship is flipping a lot. Um, this really comes down to the alignment of the ship and uh, and then being very gentle with the controls. I found that these capsules are completely stable with the heat shield on, uh, to the point where you don't even have to touch the controls if you don't want to. You do need to sometimes to change the path that you're flying in, but in reality, it's a very, very stable mechanic, and it seems like it emulates what exists in the real world as far as what I've seen with NASA and the Apollo, Curiosity, Curiosity rover and whatnot. So for one, the alignment of your ship is pretty important. I like to do a heads-up mode, so I'm looking at my gimbal there on the bottom, and I'm faced head towards the sky essentially. And at this point, I'm completely hands-off. I've aligned myself slightly above the actual trajectory that I'm on, but otherwise, I'm not really going to touch this. I'm just going to watch what happens. Another thing to do is I'm going to turn on my precision mode. It helps very, very much to be able to control your craft if it doesn't wildly spin around. So we should start to heat up here. Yep, starting to heat up. Now if you look, I haven't touched anything. There's no SAS, no hands-on. Ship is essentially flying itself right now. I'm currently increasing my periapsis through the lift effect. So I actually want to stop doing that, so I'm going to lightly tap Q and roll my ship. And as you can see, what's happening is I'm following a very stable kind of pitch as I roll my ship. You have to be very gentle. If you go crazy, you're going to start spinning and you get out of aerodynamic stability. So here I'm checking, alright, now my periapsis is dropping again. Good. Well, I don't want to do that too much. So I'm going to roll my ship back over, nice and gentle. No rush. Kind of want to skim across here and lose some speed. So 24,000 meters and climbing. I've got about 200 meters a second to burn before I know that I'm captured. So I'm just going to rotate into a heads-up position again. Check on my heat shield. The heat shield doesn't seem to be taking much use. I find that these bigger pods are a lot easier to put down than the little mercury ones or the small 1 meter capsules. Those tend to fall apart a lot easier. So here I am, I'm just riding a nice little flight trajectory, never using SAS, barely having to use controls, and the ship is completely stable. The only thing I'm worried about at this point is possibly overheating my parachute or burning through my ablator. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I'm still climbing. As you can see, I got quite a bit of aerodynamic lift. I'm going up 100 meters a second. But I'm going slow enough that I don't have to worry about bouncing back into space. So with a little luck, I might make it to the water. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that it's extremely easy to fly a capsule back into the atmosphere as long as you don't over control. That's critical. Hands-off approaches work. Minimal inputs to change, your trajectory if you need to, or possibly, whatever else you want to do. Practice skipping off the atmosphere. It doesn't matter. But I just wanted to show you guys that it's not impossible to have a hands-free re-entry. It's quite easy. You just have to kind of change the way you're thinking about re-entering. And as far as I can tell, this is extremely close to how, for instance, the Apollo missions they flew their re-entries in terms of the mechanic involved with the offset center of gravity and the lifting body principles. All seem to be in line with what we would see in reality. Simplified somewhat, I'm sure, but for the purposes of this game, we're more than happy with this close approximation. So, if you want to hang out with me for a little while, I will land this pod, or you can check out now. Aiming for water, that's my goal. Got this big continent to traverse. See what my trajectory is now. Yeah, that'll do. I might want to roll the ship over and try to put it in this bay here. We'll see if that works. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Parachute's starting to overheat a bit. To alleviate that, if it gets too hot, you actually just aim yourself directly retrograde as you would normally, and or as you would be in the previous version of this game, and it gets it out of the heat. Hopefully it doesn't heat up in here as bad. I think I'm gonna miss the water. Now to hold it on a decent trajectory, it gets kind of tricky. As you slow down, your aerodynamic effects change on the ship quite a bit. Little SAS helps towards the end, but it's not really necessary if you're just willing to ride the controls a little bit. You definitely do need to pilot the capsules a little bit. You do need to give them some input. You definitely need to get them aligned properly on initial re-entry, otherwise you're going to have troubles. Overall, I think it works really well, and I hope this video has helped you guys somewhat on your re-entries, and take care.